A sketchbook flip through from 2019. Here I have a Moleskine sketchbook, which actually is a little bit different because I usually draw in Moleskine notebooks because the pages are thinner. But here I have a sketchbook, and there's a lot of different drawings in here. Most of these are not abstract. Well, some are, but there's a lot of more cartoon drawings, heavily inspired by Adventure Time and sort of 2000s, 2010s cartoons, I guess. And a little comic. The style is definitely all over the place in this sketchbook, which is why I like it. There's no really defining style, I feel like, in the sketchbook. It's just going from one artist to another, taking inspiration from this person and then combining it with someone else. And so this is what it turned into. There's a lot of color in here. I actually did use quite a bit, and some paints, which I don't have any more paints. This was a long time ago, 5 years ago, when I had paints, actual acrylics, and maybe I should actually try painting again. But there's like 2 or 3 pages in here with some acrylics in it, and also a lot of watercolor going on. I don't have any watercolor. I for some reason I just don't have a lot of those art mediums anymore. I just have ink pens, so I'll have to maybe get some more, and definitely paint. So there's some weird, wacky ideas going on in here. There's a lot of characters. There's some animals with suits on and abstractions combined with here there's hands, there's faces and everything. And this isn't a perfect sketchbook. This is, out of 10, I would give it maybe a 5.5, a 6. I'll give it that, a 6. And there's definitely a lot of room for improvement for the sketchbook. I could go back and maybe add some stuff, I feel like, maybe. Or I should just leave it, because I've been thinking about going back into sketchbooks and trying to fix things. But I think I should just leave it alone and then put it away. Just focus on what I'm doing right now. But anyways, there's a lot of different worm creatures. I'm noticing now there's some eels, fish, and a lot of alien things in here. There's one page in here that I actually love, and it's a flower guy. That's what I call them. There are these characters I used to draw quite a bit, where it's basically like an alien plant hybrid, sort of like Plants vs. Zombies, I guess. But that's not what inspired me to draw them. I just came up with it on my own. And they have flowers on their head. They're like little alien plants with sunflower petals all around them. The page with the painting that with a bunch of colors is sort of like a Willy Wonka vibe to it. That kind of has that, I think. There's a lot of good stuff in here, but there's also a lot of bad stuff as well. I make good stuff, I make bad stuff, I do it all. Look, I'm not just an artist that makes bad art. I'm an artist that makes good art, but I do both, okay? There's some miniature people in here, a little bit of that going on. Not too many diagrams or anything. And this is definitely, you can tell that the style is just not as good as it is now. It's just kind of wonky and not super professional looking. At least to me, it's just kind of, because I mean that's every artist though. you go back into your older work and look at it, and it's like, it's terrible. Of course, the average person might say, hey, that's pretty good, but for you, it's just not up to par. It's just not. You can see all the little mistakes and details. At least I can, and I don't like the way the shapes are drawn. I'm not a fan of it. But some of them, you know, there's probably 10 or 15 pages that are good in here that I can still be like, yeah, that was a good drawing. I did use a lot of gray, some lighter tones to shade the face, the kind of give it a perspective and feeling that sunlight is bouncing off the head, which I should do more of. Definitely when I'm drawing black and white pages, I need to use more gray, because it really does add to the drawing, I feel like. Some more creatures, majestic animals in researching facilities or what have you, and I don't know. There's a lot of, it's almost psychedelic looking, a lot of these drawings, with the mushrooms, the lighthouse mushroom, vase, abstract plant modules and stuff. A lot of clouds. I do like the clouds. The cloudy drawings with the wispy, smoky. That, I need to do more of that. I've forgotten to, but... And also stippling, of course. Stippling and clouds is a good combination for practicing. If you haven't tried that, I would definitely suggest drawing wispy cloud smoke shapes and then putting a bunch of dots and cross hatching all in there. There's some buildings going on a little bit. From time to time, I'll put in maybe 2 or 3 buildings in each sketchbook, but then I just kind of move on from that. And that's what I always kind of do. I try something out and then I move on, when I should try that out more and really master that one subject, instead of just drawing the same thing and just drawing one random thing and then moving on. So I'll have to maybe draw some more of these flower people. It's not the most original idea, but I like it. I like how they look. At the time, I liked all of these ideas. And you can see they're kind of, you know, childish. They're kind of very, what's the word? They're very unusual. They're, you know, so these ideas are just all over the place. And that's where my mind was at the time, I guess. That's kind of the representation of this sketchbook. So that's about all for this video, and goodbye.